Welcome to the 6th episode of All for the Lombardi. Today is October 11th, 2017. I don't have some fall joke to make today because we are into it now and I've done that for 2 weeks now. So I really don't have anything to say about fall, which you probably would have expected me to after the last 2 episodes.
Kind of hard to make a joke when it's already here.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll get straight into what we're doing today. Of course, this is All for the Lombardi, a podcast about the NFL. I'm Dustin.
Nathan.
And yeah, let's get going with the Chiefs-Texans game on Sunday Night Football on, October 8th, Sunday night, of course. Anyway, was this the best Chiefs game of all this season? Good question. I will give you some stats and maybe you can make the determination yourself. So, for scoring plays, out of all of the games that the Chiefs have played this season by both teams, the Houston game has the most with 14. The next games, New England 11, Washington 10, Philadelphia 9, LA Chargers 6. Most from all Chiefs games this season by both teams in scoring plays, interestingly enough. I feel that the penalties have improved from the beginning of the season. I really didn't run any stats on that, but I feel that they've improved, especially since our first Chiefs penalty was with 1:49 left in the second quarter.
Can't say that for my Bears, but continue.
Well, the first Houston penalty was actually 3:31 in the first quarter, so they got one more penalty than us in that game, but we still got more penalty yardage. So the player of the game this week, you want to take a guess?
Smith?
Yep, Alex Smith. 29 for 37 for 324 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 sack. It's pretty darn good stuff there.
Yeah.
19 rushes for 5 attempts. Justin Houston, Derek Johnson, Ron Parker, all good signs on the defense this week. And now, here's the other stat that will make you wonder if this was the best Chiefs game all season, at least on the offensive side of the ball. The drives. 80% of the Kansas City Chiefs drives in that game led to a score.
Yeah, you do that, you're going to win a lot of football games,
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
And every other game has been below 45% for the Chiefs. New England was at 42.9%. The Chargers and Washington were both at 40%. And the Philadelphia game was at 36%. So there's some thoughts for you. I think it maybe has been the best Chiefs game all season by just watchability.
Okay, so I
Other than New England, which of course any Chiefs fan would love to watch that one.
But, okay, I'm thinking about this game. How did Houston lose this game? I don't mean to be, an anti-Chief, but Deshaun Watson threw 5 touchdowns. How?
He had 1.5 sacks to Houston.
Well, still.
So that's a sack leader on the team.
Well, I'm just saying 5 touchdowns kind of way out a sack and a half.
Yeah.
Because a sack and a half is 2 plays. A touchdown is 5 plays for a score.
I think Houston has actually been doing better than in past games. So maybe on a game-by-game comparison versus Deshaun Watson. Okay, yeah, I mean,
of course.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. Of course, it didn't help losing J.J. Watt so early, and then losing
Whitney Merciless on the very next play.
Next play, yeah.
Both of them are out for the season.
Out for the year.
Yeah.
It's almost as if there's an injury epidemic in the league.
Ooh. We're teasing that one again.
Yet again. And expect it. Still got to wait on some good numbers to where we could compare it to previous seasons.
So which one do you want to talk about first next? The Raiders game or your game?
Guess we'll go to my game, unfortunately. So, here it was. The debut of not even the future anymore. It's the present. It's the Mitchell Trubisky era. And you may look at his stats, 12 for 25, 100 and some yards, which I can't remember off the top of my head. A touchdown and a pick. Like, oh, I played terrible. Like, oh, it wasn't very good. That's what I keep hearing. In fact, hot take machine Skip Bayless, right after the game ended, he tweeted out, the Bears should have took Deshaun Watson. And I was just like, no. It's like, someone didn't watch the game because Trubisky was putting throws right on the money. I'd recommend watching some tape on that game if you have the resources, because you could see some of the great throws Trubisky made, and 2 of them I can think of off the top of my head were great on the money and were either dropped or brought back on some offensive holding. Thank you, Cody Whitehair. Thank you, Marcus Wheaton. Thank you, Trey McBride. And yeah, I don't even. it's hard to talk about anything but Trubisky in this game because we should another game. This is what separates your bottom feeders versus even your mid-tier teams. A mid-tier team a team that's worthy of competing would win that game. So I guess the Vikings are worthy of competing because you can't finish the job. I don't have to tell you, can't finish the job. The only job we finished this year was when Pittsburgh basically handed us that game.
And I hate to go off tangent for a second, but what did Skip Bayless say on his Twitter? He
said the Bears should have took Deshaun Watson.
Here's the thing about that analogy, or saying that. Every team, almost every team that drafted a quarterback this season could have taken Deshaun Watson. The Chiefs could have taken Deshaun Watson. The Browns could have taken Deshaun Watson. They didn't. Just get off your high horse, Skip. Anybody could have taken. Your beloved Cowboys could have taken Deshaun Watson. I'm just saying.
I got two things for him saying that, okay? I got two things but it makes it unfair to compare Mitchell Trubisky and Deshaun Watson. DeAndre Hopkins, Will Fuller. My argument's done. Yeah. This is a shell of a Bears offense. Kendall Wright is no DeAndre Hopkins. And Kendall Wright is no Will Fuller almost. And it's just... shout out to Leonard Floyd for the sacks and the safety. So, shout out to him for a good game. Lost yet another middle linebacker. It's just, I'm expecting injuries at this point. And Kyle Long went out, of course, with his ankle injury, which is the same injury that's been bothering him for the past, feels like 15 years, even though he's only been in the league for 3 or 4. I don't know if you can tell I'm starting to get a bit frustrated.
What about that Pat O'Donnell touchdown?
Pat O'Donnell, the greatest punter that ever lived. I love Pat O'Donnell. If there's ever a time where I'm going to get the jersey of a punter, I'm going to get Pat O'Donnell. I love Pat O'Donnell so much.
He's a top quarterback rating now for the week.
Yeah, of course he is.
158.3.
So shout out to Pat O'Donnell, Player of the Week, Player of the Year, MVP. Pat O'Donnell for MVP. It's a t-shirt.
There we go.
I will petition that in the streets. Pat O'Donnell for MVP. I mean, he's got a perfect quarterback rating, you know?
He might win Special Teams Player of the Week, but I'm not so sure if he can beat Brady and all these other guys for MVP, you know?
No, I think it's closer than you think.
So we had our game of the week, the Ravens versus the Raiders. Flacco did get more pass yards in that game. I know we were talking about that last week. Flacco did get more.
Than Emmanuel?
Yes.
Actually,
Flacco.
Can I just go back to the Bears game for just another second? I forgot. There's one thought I forgot. I apologize.
It's all right.
But throw the ball in the fourth quarter. I'm sorry. Throw the ball in the fourth quarter. Dowell Loggins, what are you doing? You're asking to get fired at the end of the year. Well, I think we threw the ball 3 times in the fourth quarter, and the game was always tied. It was either always tied or we were down by a touchdown, and yet we still threw the ball like 3 times in the fourth quarter.
Sorry, I'm going to ask you a question here. This is kind of off kilter, but at the same time relevant. How do you pronounce that man's name? Is it Dowell Loggins, or is it Loggins, or...
I say Dowell Loggins. Like, I know it's spelled Loggins, but I say Gens, Dowell Loggins.
There's a random, silly, pointless segment for today there. Everybody.
We'll get back to you next week on that.
Yeah.
There you go.
E.J. Manuel, 159 yards in that game.
And Flacco with, how many again?
222.
Okay.
I don't even think I said that originally. Flacco rushed for -4 yards.
Oh my gosh.
E.J. Manuel had 15.
My uncle's not happy right now. At all. I don't know. He's mad at Amari Cooper. He thinks the Raiders. I don't know. I probably shouldn't rat him out right now.
I think I actually agree with him on Amari Cooper. I think he is kind of crapped the boat.
He's had a terrible season. There's no other way to put it. Terrible season.
I have him on a fantasy team, and I started looking at him after his first 3 weeks. I'm thinking, geez, what are you doing?
3rd straight week with like not even 10 yards, I think.
Yeah, Amari Cooper. He should be a disappearing act candidate at some point.
Too bad someone else stunk to bed more than he did, which is an accomplishment.
Yeah. That might actually be we got to talk the AP trade first. Well, of course, really fast, our upset of the week, Cincinnati Buffalo. Cincinnati won. Good job to Nathan on that upset.
Yep.
I ended up flip-flopping back to the Bills at the last minute, so
I don't know.
I did a good job there.
The Bills are not that 3-1 team that I was thinking. Yeah, they're going to be a decent team, but I don't see anything more than 8-8, 9-7 for him, to be honest with you.
Andy Dalton was the number 4 pass leader with 328 yards. fact, 9 of the top 10 passing leaders had 300-plus yards.
Good week for passing, apparently.
Yeah, including guys like Brian Hoyer and Jameis Winston.
Well, Jameis Winston's not a surprise on that list.
Jacoby Brissett.
Okay, yeah, that's a throw. That throws me off.
Big Ben.
Big Ben threw for what?
He threw for 312.
Oh, we'll just wait on Big Ben. We got some later on Big Ben.
Yeah, we do.
Don't spoil yourself. Don't look at the results of the Steelers game if you don't know, because we got some good things for coming up for that.
Yeah, Leonard Fournette, of course, is the top rushing leader again. Leonard Fournette may be the best running back in the league at this point. And I'm saying that over Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt's number 2 right now, because Leonard Fournette is getting... I'm sorry, Kareem Hunt, but Leonard Fournette, he's awesome.
Jordan Howard. Sorry.
Okay, Jordan Howard, yeah.
I'm always going to be biased for my Jordan Howard and my Jordan Howard jersey and all that.
And he was on top 10. He was number 9 with 76 yards for 19 attempts. So, 4
Still gotta
yards
use him
average.
Yeah.
So that's not too bad. That's good few plays there. AP got traded to the Adrian Peterson to the Arizona Cardinals. I think that's the best move at this point.
Absolutely. I think the Cardinals, they're in a state where they have to compete at this point.
Yeah.
They can't just be like, oh, rebuild, time to rebuild. They have Carson Palmer and
Larry Fitzgerald,
and all of them, and just a team that's aging all around. So,
and of course David Johnson hit the IR
very early
in the year. Yeah, may have not even been week 1.
I still feel bad for anyone who drafted him in fantasy.
Yeah, there's actually an article on NFL.com about players to drop on fantasy. AP's one,
Really?
even after the trade.
Really?
Well, I mean, you got yeah.
Well,
that isn't true.
Well, really, which I think it's kind of funny. I mentioned this to someone. To make room for AP, they dropped Chris Johnson, which I think just shows such a fall from glory for both of them.
Yeah, the fact that AP is getting traded that easily.
Yeah, and then Chris Johnson gets released that easily.
So let's go into the injury report now. Do you want to start us off with the first injury?
I guess I will. Odell Beckham.
Yep.
Came off the field late in the fourth quarter and
fractured his left ankle.
That's interesting. I thought he fractured his fibula.
It might have been. This was like Sunday night when they wrote this, so
okay, that makes
it might have changed since then.
Out for the year.
But
another star out for the year.
Either way,
David Johnson, Odell Beckham, and many, many more. Just add to the list of that injury epidemic that we need more statistics on. Before we can really talk about it.
And then you add Dwayne Harris onto that list of IR people now.
Mm-hmm.
Did Sterling Shepard land on the IR?
I'm not
sure about him.
I know Marshall did. Marshall's out for the year.
That's three wide receivers out in one game. That is
for the Giants.
That is terrible luck, especially against an 0-5 team. You would not.
Good luck, Eli.
Yeah, I mean, if you're facing an 0-5 team, that's not what you expect.
Yes.
Another 0-5 team. Of course, we talked about Merciless and J.J. Watt out for the season. Watt suffered a tibial plateau fracture. If you were watching Sunday Night Football, Michelle Tafoya gave her injury example, the little graphic with where the injury is. She had one of those moments.
Nice work there. I always like when they do that.
Yeah, I like it too. A lot of people complain about it because a lot of weeks will actually be this ACL tear. So I have to explain ACL tear more weeks than they want to. Anyway, Buffalo Bills tight end Charles Clay carted off the field after suffering a knee injury. He was on a fantasy team of mine. That was not so good. Travis Kelce is now in the concussion protocol. Stephen Terrell, our backup safety, was injured on the first run back of the game. Did not return. Concussion. Wide receiver Chris Conley has a ruptured Achilles and is out for the season. Did you? I sent you a link to a video of that play.
I saw it. Yes.
That is the funkiest injury ever. Because the back of his calf just wobbled.
It's like Jello.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to put a warning on this because that might gross someone out.
I wouldn't go watch that if you get easily grossed out there. So now it's time for the Disappearing Act this week.
Well, didn't expect to ever see this name on the Disappearing Act. Yeah, it's Big Ben, who we talked about earlier. And there's one stat why Big Ben is on the Disappearing Act. 5 interceptions.
That's right, 5 interceptions.
Unbelievable.
It's his career high.
I don't know how he got 312 yards. I keep thinking about that. I don't know how. Well, he did throw the ball 55 times and 33 completions, but it doesn't matter if you throw no touchdowns and throw 5 interceptions.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that simple.
His touchdown-interception ratio is now 6-7. Imagine what it was before the game, like 6-2.
Yeah.
Now it's all the way up to 6-7. Gosh.
Oh my gosh.
The press conference after the game, though, I think it was kind of just jokingly to a reporter just because, hey, I lost, I suck. And I don't think he was completely serious about this, but he said, there was a question, and he said, I don't know, maybe I am done.
If you remember, so like 2 or 3 years that Big Ben's talking about, I might retire every offseason. And, well, maybe this finally is the offseason that he retires. Who knows? If it seriously goes downhill that much, then maybe this is it. And by the way, shout out to Jacksonville. That secondary in Jacksonville is insane.
Oh, yeah. It's Jacksonville. They have a good football team. They have been working on defense for the last 3 years, and it's paying off.
Boye and Jalen Ramsey is one heck of a corner duo.
Whoever the coach is there now, I have no idea.
Doug Marrone?
Doug Marrone. He has gotten the rewards of that. Gus Bradley starting to build out defense. And now Marrone has kind of come in and brought the offense into shape, and now
Bradley would still be there if he ran an offense.
Yeah, exactly. Are the Jaguars playoff contenders?
Absolutely.
I think you have to watch out if you're in that AFC South, which of course is the Colts, the Texans, and the Titans anyway. So it's not like the competition's going to be crazy high. Anyway, now it's time to talk other quarterbacks across the league this week. Mariota's still out. Carr was out this week. E.J. Manuel replaced him.
Carr will return.
Yes.
Coming up this week, Carr will return.
And E.J. Manuel went 13 for 26 and 159 yards with a touchdown. No interceptions, so there's something for you.
It's a classic E.J. Manuel game, though.
Yeah, it
is.
is.
Lukewarm. A lot of lukewarm nothing.
Yeah. That is.
I'm sorry, E.J. It's just you're an easy target.
You know what? Maybe Carr's going to get out this week, and now he's going to do good because you kind of said he's only lukewarm.
Wow. That's it. Something to think about. I'm sorry, Uncle. I'm sorry.
Deshaun Kaiser. That was a dumpster.
This is exactly why you don't rush your quarterbacks.
Yeah.
This is exactly why. Kaiser got benched for Keith Hogan. No offense to Keith Hogan, but Keith Hogan is not someone you want to get benched for.
Kevin Hogan.
Is it Kevin?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Keith. I'm sorry, Kevin. There's Keith Hogan.
Sorry to all the Keiths in the world.
There's a Keith Hogan out there somewhere.
Yeah, there is.
But
Kevin Hogan actually ended up doing better than Deshaun Kaiser. 16 for 19, 194 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception for Hogan. 8 for 17, 87 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception for Kaiser.
I would hope you do better than Kaiser. I like Kaiser as a prospect, but he's just not ready.
Here's the thing: do you ride the hot hand now? Well,
Actually, speaking of, they've already said they're riding with Hogan.
Oh, okay. That makes complete sense. Though I had a feeling
I'd bring that up. And now this is the perfect time to bring it up.
Yeah, there we go. So we're moving through this one relatively quickly here, and it's now time. Well, actually, we want to declare a team dead now.
For whom the bell tolls this week.
Yes.
Shout out to The Undertaker. And this week we got a double feature. The Giants are most certainly dead. My division pick is dead. Thank you, New York. You never do anything right for me.
Eli Manning, Ben McAdoo, all of you people. OBJ for getting injured. Brandon Marshall, Sterling Shepard, Dwayne Harris.
New York doesn't even... It transcends football. New York screws me over in other sports, too. Okay.
Did they screw you over this season in baseball?
No, well, technically, yes, they did. They made the playoffs, so therefore they screwed us over. And the Royals didn't make the playoffs, so technically.
Anyway, I know we kind of just drew off topic there, but New York...
My blood is pulsating because of that. Oh my goodness.
Well, any more comments about New York?
We need to move on before I say something.
Okay. Before you say something you regret.
I'm sorry, natives of New York. New York sports fans are not the greatest sports fans. I'm just going to say that. So
ironically now we're going to preview our Week 6 games, one of which is a New York team playing in our Game of the Week.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that one in just a minute. Of course, you know which team's going to be the Game of the Week team because we just trashed the Giants for so long.
Yeah. So, I already have one of my division picks wrong, which is great.
Yeah. So, let's go to your game first. Chicago Bears at Baltimore Ravens. Look at... What do you think about this Bears-Ravens game?
I don't even know anymore. Okay. Throw the ball. Throw the ball. It's that simple. Throw the ball. At this point, it's just... I don't know. Need to throw the ball. I'm sorry I keep repeating that, but it's something that needs to be ingrained in Dowell Loggins' head, because I remember I was getting so frustrated Monday night in the fourth quarter. I was near screaming at my TV, throw the ball, because my thought was, if you aren't going to use him when it matters, you might as well just stuck with Glennon. I know it's a hot take, but I was so frustrated at that time that I want them to use him. If you're going to commit to playing him, use him. Don't play around him, play with him.
Did the rain storm help cool your feelings? Or did it make it worse?
I almost missed the Star Wars trailer, so no, it just made me more upset. Sponsor us, Star Wars. I know you're a
big company. I know you're probably not watching this.
Disney, I know you're a god among companies, but just sponsor us.
We'd probably have to cover the ESPN game every week if we did that, though.
Oh boy.
Now we're kind of trashing these people, so we may want to move on here.
We will move on.
Yeah.
But, yeah. You need to run the ball. Okay, logins. I've said logins this week than I have in any of the other podcasts
this may
combined.
Be the first time that you've even said logins.
Dowell Loggins is the Bears' offensive coordinator, and I believe he runs all the plays. He runs some of the stupidest plays I have ever seen. But I feel like... They're middle school plays, really. They're not even high school plays. They're middle school plays. Just play. Do normal football plays. Don't try and shock them. Just do normal football plays.
So let's talk about probably the thing that doesn't frustrate you about the Bears right now, and it's this defense. Leonard Floyd, Akeem Hicks, Pernell McPhee, Danny Trevathan will be back from his one-game suspension.
Which he should have never been suspended anyways, but, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. What's done's done.
Yes, I guess so. So I guess we should just stop harping on it.
I guess so. Prince Amon Kamara, Christian Jones, Adrian Amos. You'll be facing Joe Flacco. Is this your first game that you're actually facing a disappearing act as your opponent?
Since they've been a disappearing act, yes. I was going to say Rothlisberger, but he's disappearing act this week, so yes.
So we'll see how the disappearing act candidate does against your team.
There you go. Maybe he's a candidate for next week. I hope so. That'd be really nice. And
Macklin kind of came back this week. Macklin was kind of just down, and last couple of weeks he's come back a little bit this week. So there's something.
And again, shout out to Leonard Floyd. Leonard Floyd and Akeem Hicks are keeping this defense alive. They are pieces to build around on defense, and I love both of them. As players, they play with grit and they play with heart, and I can't expect anything less. Your interception streak without an interception continues.
I'll keep noticing that every week that there's a dash.
Oh yeah, here's a prediction. We're gonna break the record for least takeaways in a season.
See if we get that one at the end of the season.
Yeah, write that down. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. We almost did it last year, except for a game against Sam Bradford and the Vikings. So it's Sam Bradford, who actually played pretty. No, actually, we never mentioned anything about Bradford, did we?
No, we did not talk about Bradford and Keenum.
Good thing I mentioned that on the fly. Bradford played the first half, and he did not look good at all. And Case Keenum came in to play the second, and he played pretty well.
While we're talking about benching, are coaches in the league too bench happy nowadays with their quarterbacks?
No, because I don't think so, because quarterback is a position where if you don't have a good quarterback, a quarterback who's running the system well, you're not going to win the game.
True.
It's that simple.
Very true.
So, good question, though. I like that question.
And the one thing about this week, Joe Buck's on baseball.
I don't even know what to feel about that. Now I got to listen to him call the American League or National League Championship game. I don't remember which.
It's American League.
Ernie
will have the National League.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And anyway, I was looking through these and I was happy to see Tom Brenneman's name next to Troy Aikman, not Joe Buck's. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Let's see.
Now it's time to talk the Chiefs game. Pittsburgh Steelers, Kansas City Chiefs. We've had some bad blood against this team in the past, I'll be completely honest with you. Of course, we did the playoffs last year.
You were salty after that one.
Yeah, that was something I don't want to go back to. And I keep saying this every week, but as long as we're undefeated, I'm going to say this. If it's going to happen, if we're going to go down to one loss, it's going to be this week, and it's going to be the Steelers. And the reason why is you have Antonio Brown, you have Juju Smith-Schuster, you have Le'Veon Bell. Big Ben, if he sucks again, maybe we have a good chance. But, I mean, we got to lose sometime. I mean, we can't. No team's going to go 16-0. And it's, well, I can't say that. If a team's going to go 16-0, it's probably not going to be this year's Chiefs.
16-0 is a lot of luck.
Exactly.
Not even the greatest football team of all time, the 1985 Bears, could go 16-0. Shout out to Mike Singletary and Walter Payton and Jim McMahon even. And, okay, of course, William the Fridge Perry. So,
right.
I apologize for making this all about the Bears.
That's all right. The Pittsburgh Steelers, though, one guy who I'm concerned about on that defense, Ryan Shazier, he started to really pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
I think he had some good plays in your game against them, along with T.J. Watt. Of course, T.J. Watt, I mean, he had the injury, so he hasn't quite returned completely to full strength yet. But
tell you what, though, he has the injury, but I think he's a leader in NL. Excuse me, I'm on baseball mind. And the
AFC.
Wait, is there multiple defensive rookie of the years, or is there just one?
I think it's one.
Well, anyways, he's on route for a defensive rookie of the year to me.
Yeah, he could be.
I like his play. Anyways,
just wait, we'll look that up, and there will be no defensive rookie of the year award.
Oh yeah, right. It was taken out like 10 minutes before we started this podcast.
I get to watch Tony Romo call my game, which I'm not sure how I feel about that yet.
I actually like Romo.
I love Romo as an announcer.
I think he's great.
He kind of calls things out. Kind of sees it as it is. So.
Yeah, I think that's what I like about him, because it gives you what a football player, what a quarterback's mind is, which I think is a great point of view. And
there were a whole bunch of people hyping about him kind of giving the plays away. But I mean, so what? I mean, Brent Musburger was going on radio talk show in Las Vegas about it. I'm kind of just like, I mean,
I think the defense is sending. You think someone's like sending the defense signals? Tony Romo said this, you should do this. No, it's not going to affect the field of play.
Yeah. Tony Romo does. It's not like they're going to make an audible in 2 seconds to be able to switch it over from what Tony Romo said.
Tony Romo said this, Tony Romo said this, go, go, go.
Yeah, exactly. They're not going to, there's no way you can just audible. That's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. And anyway, I think I had one more thing I was going to say about Romo, but I guess I don't now because I forgot about it. So, here, Sunday Night Football on NBC, the New York Giants and the Denver Broncos. The 0-5 New York Giants.
Thanks, Giants. Thanks, New York.
I'm sure when NBC, because you have to have like 2 weeks before you can announce a flex, I'm sure if 2 weeks ago we'd been in this situation, I'm sure NBC would have pulled the flex.
NBC is probably really upset right now.
Well, they have they had the Colts, Seahawks, and now they have the Giants, Broncos.
I know, 2 stinkers in a row.
And like they could have advertised OBJ, but now they can't.
Or Brandon Marshall, or
Sterling Shepard, but now they can't. They don't have any of these guys. In fact, the only real guy, the only wide receivers left is Roger Lewis, and they had to get this guy named King, who they had last season. So yeah.
Just a sad state of affairs at this point.
Do you think the Giants can pull off an upset against the Broncos?
So they're going to stay 0-16 season for the Giants. Not really. They're going to win eventually. But it
won't be this week.
Nope, it won't be this week.
Yeah, I agree. Against Trevor Siemian, C.J. Anderson, off the bye in the no-fly zone. Yeah.
Okay, I got a question. That reminds me. Are you scared of the Broncos as a Chiefs fan?
Maybe the Broncos defense. Certain parts of it. In fact, the no-fly zone. Von Miller and those guys. And I think we have some breaking news right now, so let's take it to Nathan.
Speaking of, talking about the Giants game, this is perfect timing. I happen to look at my phone. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie has been suspended for leaving the team.
So leaving the team
he left. He left.
As in just saying, I quit, or...
All it says is, after he surprisingly left team today.
Okay, then.
So the Giants are
Is
just
this-
collapsing in on themselves.
Did it say whether it's a league suspension or a team suspension?
I think it's a team suspension.
I'm sorry, but you can't suspend somebody in that situation unless you want to lose. Unless you're wanting to lose, I don't know why you suspend them.
It's like, well, and I understand because it's like leaving your job. It's like you show up at the office, you check in, you're like, okay, see ya.
I understand why you do it, but at the same time, at this juncture, you could have just given them a warning and walked off, because now they're still going to lose. If you lose Cromartie, they're still going to lose. In fact, there may be a safe. Well, no, they won't get lucky enough to get a safety. I don't know. They're not going to win now.
That's something
That makes it worse.
That was a great thing to break into the newsroom.
Yeah. So our game of the week this week is the New England Patriots at the New York Jets. Did you ever think that when we started this season off that the New York Jets would be a game of the week?
No, I did not. Not one bit.
And I think you lost your sheet. It may be on the back here.
Sure is.
Yep. There we go.
I don't know. The Patriots have 2 losses at this point. I thought they'd go undefeated.
Defense.
Yeah.
That's what I say it is.
Not Tom Brady's fault. We
Yeah,
agree on that.
Yeah, Tom Brady's done excellent.
The GOAT is just going to keep being the GOAT. I don't know what to tell you.
He's had a few interceptions, but I mean, other than that, he's done good.
1 interception.
Yeah, 1 interception. That's true. 1 interception. Yeah.
So Brady's just going to keep on goating.
Yeah,
How are the Jets 3-2?
They had the Jaguars and really
And the Dolphins.
in that overtime.
And the Dolphins.
And the Dolphins.
Did they beat the Dolphins?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was yeah, because a whole bunch of people lost their fantasy survivor game picks over that game.
Jermaine Kearse working out pretty well in that trade because what's his name, Sean Richardson?
Yeah.
He didn't even want to be with the Jets anymore, so it looks like Jermaine Kearse is actually performing pretty well with the Jets.
Yeah, McCown, Powell, and Kearse. That doesn't sound like a great team, but kind of is.
You're welcome for giving you a contract a couple years ago, Josh McCown.
So now it's time for our 5 things, I believe. Unless you want to talk to this Eagles-Panthers game on Thursday night.
We
2 4-1 teams against each other, so...
I have something later about that.
Oh, you do?
Yes, one of my things. Here in a minute.
So this will be a perfect segue then.
Mm-hmm.
So the 4-1 Philadelphia Eagles will be facing the 4-1 Carolina Panthers on Thursday Night Football on CBS, Amazon Prime Video, and NFL Network.
Anyways, yeah.
At least it's not the NFL on Yahoo again.
Oh my God.
They even made graphics for it. Did you see that?
No.
It's basically the CBS graphics, except it says NFL Yahoo. It's all purple.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Anyway, of course, that team, you have Carson Wentz versus Cam Newton. That doesn't seem like a good quarterback matchup, but by gosh, it is a good quarterback matchup.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz versus Cam Newton. Jeez.
You know, we were just talking about, Cam Newton's breaking down physically. But these last 2 games, he has wrecked it. He has destroyed the game.
Maybe he's trying to fight those trainers who are saying he's on a decline.
Yeah. Those anonymous sources from inside.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You know. Shout out to Julius Peppers, 5.5 sacks. Oh my gosh.
This could end up being a great game.
Thanks for going to the Packers after you left the Bears, Julius.
I'm happy I won't have to worry about going to sleep that night because if that game goes long, I'll be able to watch it. And this is kind of a bold prediction right here. This could be the best game of the week. Mm-hmm. Eagles Panthers.
Yeah.
For a Thursday night, this could be the best Thursday night football game this season.
We trash Thursday night football a lot, but this is a legitimately good matchup. So 3 claps for Thursday night football. There you go.
You should watch that. Spike that ratings as much as it deserves, because it's going to deserve it. Kelvin Benjamin, Devin Funchess, Christian McCaffrey, Jonathan Stewart, Cam Newton, all on the Panthers side. Ed Dixon, who came out to a really good start last week. And then Nelson Aguilar, Torrey Smith, your old boy Alshon Jeffrey on the Eagles, who's actually doing pretty good. I have him on. I keep drafting him for 1-week fantasy teams.
Alshon, I don't show up most of the time, Jeffrey. But that's just the salt talking, so, we'll move on.
Yep. And now it's time for our 5 things that end out the show. As you know, we pick 5 things, each of us. And first of all, we'll go to Nathan, who has some quarterback comparison, it looks like, for his 5 things to start off.
So, Skip Bayless, he has inspired me today. I saw that tweet and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to dig for some stats. So, we're going to compare some stats. In his first week, this week, or I guess technically last week now, Mitchell Trubisky was 12 for 25, 128 yards, a touchdown, an interception, a sack, and a fumble loss. Okay? Which aren't great numbers when you think about it, but I think you need, like I said, if you have the time, you should watch the tape. You should watch some of the throws he made. But, including the ones that were brought back. But anyways, to compare, Deshaun Watson was 12 for 23 for 102 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 4 sacks, and a fumble loss.
It's pretty darn close.
And what does Deshaun Watson have? What did I say earlier? DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh yeah.
Will Fuller.
What do the Bears have?
Kendall Wright. So, okay, Kendall Wright, I hate to just crap on Kendall Wright. Kendall Wright's actually done pretty well, but he's just not, he's not a number 1 option. He's barely a number 2 option.
I was reading some of the draft needs. You guys really do need a number 1 wide receiver. Kevin White, I'm sorry, but Kevin White's not going to do it.
Maybe free agency.
Not anymore.
Yeah. Well, it's Meredith.
As a number 1, Kevin White cannot.
Meredith can be a number 1, but
he's
gotta wait,
isn't he?
Towards ACL.
Yeah, he's out for the year. He's on IR.
I miss you, Meredith. I wish you'd actually, because the thought of Trubisky, Jordan Howard, and Cameron Meredith all on the field at the same time makes me very happy. And I won't be able to see it for at least another year.
Yeah. So I'm going to start off with the Chargers. If you've heard of this, you probably have by now. They cut their rookie kicker, Younghoe Koo, and they got their veteran back. Okay, it's a sign that rookies don't always work out against veterans. But then I kind of started looking at these stats. And these stats, I'll be honest, he's not doing, Younghoe Koo, I don't see why they cut him, in reality. So here's how Younghoe Koo did in his first 4 games, his only 4 games. He got all of his extra points in all these games, which is much better than you can say for a lot of the kickers in this league right now.
Seriously.
And then he went 0 for 1 in the first game for field goals made, 1 for 3 in the second game, 1 for 1 in the third game, 1 for 1 in the fourth game. The only things that he really missed were 40 to 49 yarders. If you bring in a rookie kicker, are you going to expect them to kick a 49 yarder on their first?
Not really.
Even in their first 3 or 4 games, are you really going to expect that?
I never thought I'd see them bring back Nick Novak either, because when I think of Chargers kickers, I think of Nick Novak.
Yeah.
Nick Novak was on the Chargers, right?
Not even. No. He was never. He was in Houston last season.
San Diego.
Oh, San Diego.
He was with you guys.
These team change. This location change, it gets me.
Every time.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe we'll talk about the San Diego Chargers at the end of the year again.
Yeah. That would be interesting. We'll at least be talking about the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah. In a couple years.
Yeah. So, and I looked at the salary numbers. Nick Novak is actually more expensive than Younghoe Kim.
Really?
The dead cap for Nick Novak is more expensive than Younghoe Kim. I apologize, Younghoe Koo. So I don't see that's kind of stupid. I don't know why you cut him. If any team ends up being like the Chiefs and needs a last minute kicker, pick up Koo. Seriously, I just don't get it.
Well, now I have a little something different as one of my things. I'm gonna rank there are a couple one-loss teams in the league. Panthers, Eagles, Packers, Broncos, and Falcons, and I'm going to rank them, and I want to see if you agree or disagree. So, I got the Falcons as number 1, which should be no shock. I got the Broncos as number 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Panthers.
Who are the other 2?
Eagles and Packers.
The Eagles got to go above Panthers.
Okay, yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Eagles, we'll go with Eagles.
Eagles are just more vibrant.
And then Panthers, and I ain't going to ever give any credit to the Packers. So,
Packers
is number 5.
Me. I would probably put them at 4 in my root list, but in reality, knowing you, that doesn't surprise me. They're at 5.
Can't blame you. I'm a Bears fan.
Yeah. And then my other thing is the NFL Fall League meetings are next week, Wednesday and Thursday, I believe. So there may be news coming out of that. We'll see. We'll talk about it next week more than likely, because we'll more than likely hear about the Fall League meeting at that point. There's talk of the national anthem protests, which we haven't really covered here just because it's more political, and we try to stick to the regular football type of things. But there will be some discussion of that coming up at the Fall League meeting next week. So then our co-closer for today. This just shows how good of a week it was. You thought week 4 was good. Week 5 was probably even better. In week 5, 10 of the 14 games, 71.4% were decided by 6 points or fewer, tied for the highest percentage of such games in a single week over the past 25 NFL seasons. That's pretty amazing. The average margin of victory in week 5 was 7.93 points, the 5th lowest mark in a single week over the past 5 seasons.
Teams are starting to mesh, and we should get some good football in the coming weeks.
I agree. And that is it for All for the Lombardi today. I am Dustin. He is Nathan.
God bless America. God bless football.
And God bless you.
Go Bears.